Hey, hello, namaskara. A lot of people were actually asking for a quick experience review of our Vietnam trip. So, here is a quick review of our trip. Vietnam can be covered in two ways. From India, you can fly to north of Vietnam, land in Hanoi, and then travel towards south, and then finish it and come back. Or you can fly to the south. You can land in Ho Chi Minh City, and then cover to the north, and then fly back to India. These are the two options. For us, it was the first option wherein our travel planner had planned it to Hanoi City. So we flew from Bangalore, went to Kolkata, and then from Kolkata we flew to Hanoi. So that's how our journey began. Even before we go there are two important apps that I strongly recommend each one of you to download before even you reach Vietnam. The number one app is the language translator app, which looks something like this. Why language translator is important is because none of the Vietnamese actually speak proper English. Our first guide was really good. He told that he was English major, but still, according to me, I would give him 60 out of 100 for his English speaking skill. So, not everyone knows English, and it's very, very difficult to communicate with people. They don't understand a single word of English. So, please go prepared with an offline app which can convert your language. At least you can type your whatever you want to communicate in English, and that will show them or speak to them, or in the loudspeaker it will tell them in Vietnamese, so that at least they can communicate back to you. So that's very, very strongly recommended, or else without that you might suffer. Now, coming to the second app is currency converter. Currency is a huge confusion there. I'll just give you a small example. Their minimum currency is 1000 Vietnam Dong. It is called VND, Vietnam Dongs, DONG. 1000 is their minimum note. They don't have coins. The minimum are the notes. So that 1000, if you translate it to Indian rupees, it comes something like 3 rupee 33 paisa approximately. Okay. Now, the confusion starts when some people say that 1000 as 1 dong, and some people there call it as 1000 dong. So the last three zeros, some people leave it and then they use it as 1 dong, and some people call it as 1000 dong. So that's the biggest confusion. Now, just to give a little more clarity on the currency part of it, 100 rupees, 100 Indian national rupee would be something like 30,000 dongs approximately, just to make it easier. It can be more specific, but I'm just giving you an approximate number. So some people pronounce it as 30 dongs, and some people pronounce it as 30,000 dongs. So that makes it very, very confusing. So that is the reason I strongly recommend carrying a currency converter to the trip. Now, the other important thing is once you land in Vietnam, you have an option to purchase a SIM card. As soon as we landed, we went to first shop that was available, and in that first shop, actually, they mentioned $15, that is US dollars, $15 for 7 days, wherein they'll give us around 6 GB of data every day, and local calls is unlimited, which is Vietnam local calls. So what we did was we went to the second shop, and then we looked there. That was Vinaphone. So in Vinaphone shop, there was a offer, further which we actually bargained with that fellow, and then we got it for 7 days of validity, and then 7 GB of data every day for $7. Sorry, for $8. Next, coming to the weather, when we traveled, it was quite cold. As a whole country itself was cold. Average temperature was around 20 degrees. Even in the daytimes, maximum temperature we could see was around 23. But more or less, if you are not in the sun, more or less it felt like 15 degrees. It was quite cold. We had to carry jackets everywhere. But when it was sunny, it felt like burning sensation. So we had to carry our caps or umbrellas or whatever it is. So it's always advisable. So this was in November, so end of November and December, starting of December. So carry your sunshades also, and also the warm clothing. Now, talking about food, here is where we had a mixed experience. Out of 7 days, 3 days we had good food. That too, only in Indian restaurant. That too, only North Indian spread. If he had planned well, because all of our group was South Indian, so he could have planned and customized food for our palate. But he didn't do that. He just took whatever the restaurant offered, and then okay, there was at least North Indian food for 3 days. The worst experience we had was in our cruise stay, wherein we were in the middle of the ocean and we were stuck in a boat. I'll come to it later, that story, that horrible story. So the food was horrendous. What they give you is they make something called as Vietnamese sticky rice that is quite smelly. So they put that rice on your plate, and then they put some Chinese cut, that vertical cut cabbage and carrot on that, and they'll drop couple of drops of soya sauce. So that's your meal. So if you want more, if you're a non-vegetarian, they'll chop some beef slices and then they put it on that, so you can enjoy that meal. They only eat boiled food. They don't believe in, they don't know any masalas or things like that. They don't even know how to make fried rice. I asked for a fried rice when I was stuck in that boat, that miserable boat that I was talking about. What they did was, what he has done, I assume, is he has taken that sticky rice. He has probably poured half liter of oil into a pan. He has put some chili powder, that is not Indian chili powder, probably a Mexican fine grounded powder, chili powder, and he has poured that into the oil, and probably he has just put rice, mixed everything, and probably added a little bit of salt, and he gave it as a fried rice. If I could pick up rice like this, and if I could squeeze it, oil used to pour like a running tap. So that's your fried rice you are going to get. But the continental breakfasts are nice as usual. If you are living in a good hotel, they give you eggs, and they give you breads and fruits and milk and black coffee. So you can almost survive. But rest of it is everything like your complete non-vegetarian spread, like your beef, your sausages, your fish sauces, your fishes, and things like that. But the difference is everything is just boiled. So very bland kind of a spread. Most important tip: do not go and gulp the soup that they have kept there, and they will say that it is vegetarian. Don't do that. That broth is actually made of beef. So they say that they haven't added an additional beef is what they mean. They do not understand the language. Don't take soups if you are a strict vegetarian. So please double check. Yeah, talking about the Indian restaurants that our tour partner took us to, there were a lot of South Indian options available. Masala dosa was there, and even rasam, sambar, everything was there. But our travel partner, he didn't order those things for us. We had to buy separately and eat it. Now, talking about shopping, Hanoi, we were taken to a place called as Lake District. That is one spot where you have a lot of shopping option. Decent enough. The pricing is decent enough. I bought a jacket, that is a rain cover, for around, I believe, 550 rupees when converted to Indian National Rupee. So that's how pricings are. You can bargain a little, up to you. And good shopping. You have a lot of dry fruits, chocolates. There will be tons of shops for chocolates and dry fruits, and you have a lot of bags, suitcases, and there are a lot of second quality watches. You get Rolex, you get all the second quality goods of your premium brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and all those things are available there. All your Gucci, all those brands are available there. If you fancy, you can also explore that. Decent quality, looked great actually. But if you are a person who would love to have them, you can go ahead and explore them. Now, the second market that they took us was same in Hanoi city, that is Dong Xuan market. Now, here also it's like our Jainagar 4th block BDA complex market. You get almost everything, whatever the local supplies, whatever the international exports, everything is there. So you can do a lot of shopping there, and whatever your t-shirts and whatnot, all your souvenirs and things like that. And the next shopping opportunity you will also get in Bana Hills, and Bana Hills is such a beautiful place that again I'll come to in the places to be covered. Now, there also you can do a lot of shopping, and Halong Bay is again when you are waiting for your cruise to get on to, and there again you have a lot of shopping options. You can buy a lot of clothing, a lot of local accessories, things like that. And also in Dalong, I heard that there is a lot of shopping opportunities there, but we were not taken to. Now let us look at the places we covered and what's the best tip I can give about those things. So day one, actually we took the Hanoi city tour, and there they take you to Ho Chi Minh Memorial. It's like your Vidhan Sauda kind of a place, Parliament kind of a place. And also Ho Chi Minh Memorial is actually his mausoleum. And one pillar pagoda, it's a Lady Buddha temple. I mean, whatever you call it, shrine or thing, whatever it is. And then they took us to Train Street. Here is where I can give you one good tip. So what happens here is you will have to train passes through a very narrow path wherein both the sides there are cafes. So you'll have to find a cafe, sit there, and you will have to buy something, either a coffee or a drink or whatever you want to buy. You need to buy something, then only they'll offer you a table and a viewpoint there. So one tip is, if you really want to have a beautiful photograph, make sure that you get a good view. You find a restaurant which has a good view of the street from all the way the train coming. You have a view till the end of the wherever your vision can take. So like that, find a good spot and be seated. There are also some restaurants where you can go to the first floor where there will not be much crowd. You can have a different angle. So that's up to you whether you want to have a track angle or whether you want to have a little upper angle. Just explore and find the best spot and enjoy it. It's actually an event wherein the whole world is photographing that particular moment wherein that train passes. So, but the street is lit very, very beautifully. So photographically, it's a beautiful place to be present at the time of train passing and shooting that moment. Enjoy the train street. Now in the evening, they took us to that Lake District, and that is where all our shopping happened, and all our we saw the city life and things like that. It's a nice place to be in. The street that they took us was Pi Din Tien Hoang. I know it's difficult to write, read, and pronounce, and probably even hear also. Now, day 2, we traveled to Ninh Binh, wherein it's also called as Tam Kok. This is where we take boats. It's a slow ride boat wherein they pedal using their legs, and then they take us through the limestone mountains there in the middle of water, wherein we pass under the mountains through caves. It's such an different experience. Many a times you can even touch the roof of the mountain, roof of that cave. So passing under the mountain, it feels otherworldly experience. So it is something that you guys will really enjoy. But one tip there is that please carry something for your shades. The sun will, if it is sunny on that day, it will burn. So we really felt the heat because it's like almost an hour and a half. So 1.5 hours of slow moving boat in sun. So please carry sunshades or whatever, umbrellas, things like that. Okay, while coming back from there, they took us to some place called as Hang Mua, some old king's palace, houses, samadhis, things like that. They were built some 1,000 years or something like that. But there, our guide, in the itinerary, it was mentioned saying, challenge yourself to 500 steps climb for the 360-degree views and things like that. All those things were just built up. It was a waste of time. Please don't go there and climb that 500 steps. All you will see is this. Don't sweat it, and if possible, avoid it. unless and until you are in a mood to exercise. Day 3, we traveled to Halong Bay. There we went and waited for the cruise, and then we got into the cruise. Now, here our experience was really bad because our travel planner chose a very, very small boat. So, a very important tip for you is choose your cruise carefully. Some giveaway points are, giveaway signs are, look for whether balconies are there for each rooms that are visible from outside the cruise. For us, they gave us a very old boat and they called it cruise. Okay, the rooms were decent, the rooms were good enough, and even the bathrooms, everything was good enough. The internals of the rooms, everything was good enough. But overall, as a experience, it was below average. Food was horrendous, service was pathetic, and the language capability of the everybody that was there in the cruise was zero. Not zero, say 1. So we had a pretty bad experience, but we enjoyed the overall cruising and the place, the beauty of it, the nature, the overall experience, all those stuff. But as such, as a cruise, it was pathetic. So the name of the cruise, I'm not getting it now. I'll post it here. So please research and choose your cruise wisely. Now, here in the cruise, they take us to a couple of places. One is they take you to a place something called as T-Top Island. Okay, so T-Top Island is where it's a historic place. There you have two options. One, either you can swim in the ocean or you can climb all the way up. We didn't climb up. We chose to enjoy the beach and take a dip. So it's a beautiful place. Again, I would strongly recommend taking a dip in the ocean. It's always a nice experience. Now, post which they take you to another cave. This is a cave which is called as a surprise cave. Don't ask me what is the surprise. You'll have to go there and see it. But the cave is actually in the middle of the mountain. So you'll have to climb up around 150 to 200, 250 kind of steps to reach the cave entrance. And then inside the cave, you need to walk close to half a kilometer. It's a huge cave inside. And then from there, you will have to get down another probably 200 steps. So that is the physical requirement for you to climb down. So a lot of senior citizens that were there in our group, they didn't choose to come there. So only people who are youngsters, we traveled there. Apart from this, during our stay in the cruise, they also took us to one more event, that is kayaking. So this was such a beautiful experience. I took my mom and we kayaked through the pearl farms, the artificial pearl farms. It was a beautiful experience. They give you around 45 minutes. You can go on your own and simply enjoy the silence and the serenity of the ocean and the mountains around you. It was such a divine experience, I would say. In the cruise, I strongly recommend not to miss sunrises and sunsets. Both were amazing, and I'll show you some pictures now. Yep, that's what I was talking about. Don't miss your sunrises and sunsets, no matter how tired you are. Now, day 4, we went back to Hanoi, and then we did again some shopping and things like that. And then we went to airport and then flew to Da Nang. From Hanoi, we took the domestic flight to Da Nang. Now, day 5, Da Nang. From there, we leave to Bana Hills. Bana Hills is such a wonderful place there. Once you reach to the base of the hills there, you take your journey towards one of the, that is not one of the, it is actually claimed to be the longest cable journey in the world, around 12 kilometers, I believe, 12 or 15 kilometers, something like that. You go to the top of the mountain, and that is where you have your that famous Hands Bridge, Golden Hands Bridge. And it's a nice place, it's a nice construction, the weather makes it beautiful. And as soon as we see that bridge, they play a background music, ta-da, 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 types. So that music makes that feel, wow, you have seen something out of this world kind of an experience. Overall, it was such a beautiful experience, and people will be dying to take photographs. You will have to do a lot of circus to uh, take good photographs there. But yeah, the whole world is there to just click photographs, and the whole world is online now, so they just want instant photographs. Yeah, that is such a good experience. And once you finish that, there is some Buddha, and there are some gardens and beautiful gardens there. Post which you will take one more cable car and travel further up to Sunworld. So Sunworld is like your Disney World, which is built on the mountains. So I was blown away looking at this place. Generally, I don't get that impressed that well, that early, that easily. But this place really blew my mind. The way they have constructed, I think it was built by the French, I believe, in the early days. And the way they have constructed the huge castles there, the stone construction, the buildings, I mean, it's huge. And they have really done a good job in terms of putting up a show there. So, one full day is really not enough to see everything. And yeah, please make sure that you go first in the morning and then you exit last in the evening. So make the best out of the experience there. If you are going and planning on your own, or you ask your travel planner to give you full day at Bana Hills and Sunworld together. Another great thing that happened in Sunworld was there was some beer festival going on. There is actually a brewery on the top of the hill in that fantasy park itself. So there are a lot of rides, lot of games, lot of fun things to do. Beyond which there was also a brewery, so they were giving free beers to everyone who were coming there. So every person, every ticket had two beers, two small shots. So the whole group had beer, free beers. So everyone, the people whoever came across the globe, everybody sat together and enjoyed it like a family. So that was a highlight when we visited there. Last but not the least, Danang, I believe, is actually called as City of Beaches, but unfortunately we were not taken to the beaches there. Yeah, that's my experience of our Vietnam travel in short. Anyway, our detailed vlog will come shortly, so if you're interested, you can come along with me for that journey. Have a great trip. Bye bye.